So most of the seniors used to tell me that okay, we did a mistake, but then I thought that okay, let's explore the thing, right? So because I every time I tell to my juniors that uh, we have no threats actually. Being a PharmD, being a new professionals into this field, we have no threat because we have nothing to lose. We are new and we have nothing to lose. That's why we have no threats. So all we have is to explore. So that was my thinking back then when I was in PharmD. And I was not a batch one holder or having good certifications or having good publications record at that point of time. My communication was not also quite great. It was like only average type of communication. But when I was in sixth year of my PharmD, I tried exploring.
So, hello everyone. So, today I have invited Dr. Sujay Bobade, and today's video is going to be one of the most best video ever. It's going to be amazing video. Today there will be no PPT sharing. It's more like a podcast. You can introduce yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, Adnan, for first of all inviting me. I really like to help people, and thank you so much for reaching out to me via LinkedIn, because I saw you are also trying to help everyone by every means by having these kind of videos. I think we have done several videos with other people also. Those are from the clinical research background or pharmacogenetics recently. So when you asked me about the podcast, I was really excited because I think if we have achieved something, then I think it's better to share with everyone. So yes, thank you so much for that. And let me introduce myself first. So I'm Dr. Sujay Bobade. I'm a doctor of pharmacy pass out from Government College of Pharmacy, Amravati. And yes, internship also I've done at Government College of District General Hospital, Amravati. So there I did 1 year of my internship. Was that you know during internship only I got opportunity to work with one of the small pharma company which was based out of Amravati called Maxili Pharmaceuticals. I used to work there like an medical representative for 2 to 3 months, and then they transitioned me into product management. Post that, I entered into medical affairs. I got my first break into Eris Life Sciences as a executive medical affairs. Then I joined AbbVie. It's the multinational company. I was associated with them as a clinical specialist. Then I got a managerial role at Torrent Pharmaceuticals. So I was handling a team there, and I was handling mostly a portfolio of cardiometabolic drug in their medical affairs team. And currently, I'm based out of Bangalore and I'm working with Eli Lilly uh, as a writer in medical communication. So basically, I'm a medical writer who is involved into shaping the narrative for the Lilly's product. So this is a brief introduction about myself. Thank you so much, Guna.
Yeah, that's great. Great introduction for ask you. There are a lot of syllabus subjects and academics projects, etc. I want you to know, I want you to tell, how did you know about medical affairs, and have you ever thought, during your academic journey, that you could be, working into the medical affairs with the same syllabus or academic background?
Mhm. Okay. So basically, I was not aware about medical affairs at all when I was studying in PharmD, right? So it is because we were from the early batches of the PharmD. So I entered into PharmD when in I think 2015, right? I'm 21 pass out. So the PharmD was very naive in India at that point of time. So, when we used to go for the interview, or when our seniors used to go for the interview, it was like, what exactly PharmD, right? So we had to explain PharmD first, and then about your skill set and as a professional. So uh, it was quite struggle for the early batches that time, and I will be very honest with you that when I was studying PharmD, I was not known about medical affairs. I was not aware about it. But yes, you need to be you should try. right? For everything and to be with to be with the scope of the PharmD. So when I was in PharmD, I used to listen from many of my seniors that okay, if we have did a mistake taking a PharmD as a course because no one knows this course outside of outside of the our college, or because only two colleges were there in Maharashtra at that point of time. Those were Government College of Pharmacy Amravati and Government College of Pharmacy Aurangabad. So most of the seniors used to tell me that okay, we did a mistake, but then I thought that okay, let's explore the things, right? So because I every time I tell to my juniors that uh, we have no threats actually. Being a founding, being a new professionals into this field, we have no threat because we have nothing to lose. We are new and we have nothing to lose. That's why we have no threats. So all we have is to explore. So that was my thinking back then when I was in PharmD. And I was not a batch one holder or having good certifications or having good publications record at that point of time. My communication was also was not also quite great. It was like only average type of communication. But when I was in sixth year of my family, I tried exploring, right? I tried exploring. I was I'm a middle class guy, right? At that time also and now also I think I'm a middle class guy. When I was in fifth year of my family, I used to tutor some a few students to just get some bucks to spend on me, and that actually created a spark inside me to earn something, right? To put some efforts. So I was when I was in sixth year of my PharmD, I just casually went into in for the interview of medical representative with one of the pharma company because there were no jobs. I was just sitting in Amravati, and Amravati is a kind of city where there is an education system, but there is no major job opportunities. So I casually went for the interview for medical representative, which is the most popular job, I believe, the pharma candidate look after. So I went for that because I was not holding any degree at that point of time. I was still studying. No major companies like I know I went for an interview with one of the big pharma company, and they rejected me because I didn't have a degree that time. I went for an interview for a small company called Maxelli Pharmaceuticals then, and they asked me a question around. I know the brand name called ENT Mox, so it was basically an amoxicillin. So being a family graduate, we know amoxicillin in and out. We know their medicinal chemistry. We know the medicinal chemistry of that molecule. We know the mechanism. We know the application-based pharmacology. We know the therapeutics of that molecule. We know the disease state where this amoxicillin can be applicable. So I told him, I gave my out everything, my family knowledge to him, and he was not expecting that because it was just a medical representative interview. So he hired me. He hired me for a role. I worked there for 1 to 2 months, and eventually, actually, my territory grew from 3 lakhs to 7 lakh. And he was really impressed by the performance because I think PharmD actually teaches you how to convert science into communication. This is what because you work bedside, you talk to doctors when you are interns, so you know the patient and physician behavior. So that thing actually really helped me when I was working as a medical representative, and that also helped me to grow business of my company. And then they, transitioned me into the new role called of product manager. Then I started working, and one guy who was a zonal sales manager, he used to train me on the marketing. Yeah, so that was the thing. I was not known about medical affairs, but eventually I got to know how. I will tell you. When I was a product manager, then I went for a in-clinic communication at Nagpur. I was with one of my MR, and there I saw one of the medical representative coming for Pfizer. It is a multinational company, uh, very nicely dressed, very confident, and holding his tablet. And his tablet, I could see some clinical trials was there. He was not waiting for his turn, but he was actually waiting for the communication he wanted to have with the doctor. So that time I just casually connected with that person and I asked him that the presentation you are carrying in your tablet, who prepares it? Did you prepare this? He told me that no, there is one team called medical team who sits in the head office in US, and they prepared this presentation and they sent it to us for the communication. That time I started researching about medical affairs, that what exactly it is. And that time only I came to know what exactly medical affairs is, and what are the responsibilities medical affairs professional carry, and how a family can contribute towards it. So that was, the point when I came to know about medical affairs.
Wow, that's really amazing.
Yeah,
Shift, yeah, transitioning from the role of medical representative to the medical affairs, you would be facing a lot of challenges during this time. And I would
yeah,
like to, ask you about medical science liaison role. This both, medical representative and MSL role from medical
mhm,
affairs. So are they connected to each other? And what do you think, what a foundation people should know about MSL and how they can enhance their skills, or they can learn something that can, help them to go into the medical science lesson?
yeah. So actually, now the trend is shifting. Like more and more foundry students are now actually aware about MSL, and they wanted to grow into medical affairs. And I think MSL is the entry level position what they like to go after. Right. So everyone says that become an MSL, but no one tells you how exactly the life of MSL looks like. So let me just tell you how exactly the day for an MSL look like. So when you are at like 12 p.m. in the afternoon in the summer, you are not actually in the lab, you are not in the classroom, and you are not even control of the room you are walked into, right? So you are sitting outside the doctor's clinic and you are waiting, and you are waiting not for just your turn, but you are waiting for the right moment, the right tone and the right question. So because MSL does not enter, the clinic with the script, he enters with the intent, right? So actually, MSL role is something uh, which is a kind of medical representative role, but it is not, right? Because you will not talk about business, you will talk about science, right? So in science also, it will not involve textbook answers. The doctor is not going to ask what exactly the mechanism of action of this drug is, right? He won't going to ask because he already knows the mechanism of action, right? What he is going to ask that why should I trust this data over what I have already using, right? Why I should trust your mechanism of action? Why? Because he is dealing with the patient, right? And that time your family brain should wake up. But this time it should not be an exam because that's not a 5 mark question. You need to start connecting the dots, right? Not just trial results, p values, or endpoints, but you need to talk about patient profiles, real world challenges, what this doctor actually cares about. Because MSL's job is not about to repeat the data, it's about making that data meaningful, right? So this is how you can translate into MSL role, right? You should be very good at handling the objections of the doctor, right? So these skills actually you will not get during the family curriculum, because in family curriculum you are going to learn about what is the mechanism, what is the pharmacokinetics, everything. The textbook knowledge was how exactly the clinical trial is. But what actually it will not teach you is how to deal with the disagreement of the doctor, right? How to present your data in a meaningful way, and a scientific storytelling. These three things, I believe, a family syllabus cannot teach you. These things, actually, your personality teach you, your experience will teach you, and how exactly you are how exactly your skill set is to interpret data. These skill sets actually what matters. And I think PharmD graduates can build this skill set while they are into fifth year or sixth year. While like let's suppose if someone is intern at in PharmD sixth year, he can basically talk to doctor with clinical trial data, right? If he is using, for example, if he is prescribing uh, something like a glimepiride to a diabetes patient, a PharmD students will go and talk that, sir, glimepiride. why should we talk? Why should we prescribe glimepiride rather than DPP-4 inhibitors? We can prescribe. It has lesser side effect, glucose dependent action. You can talk about the clinical trial data you have with the better drugs now. So this is how it should be. That's right.
So that's really great answer. Like you have told about clinical information as well as among the information which is required from the clinical research as well. Like
Yeah.
as a textual answer will not be helpful always, and we have to be very practical uh, to showcase our presentation to the doctors in front of the doctors so that they
Yeah.
can understand everything very well. So
Exactly.
now the next question I would like to ask, like, the one of the most common thing, like that is a CV, resume,
Mhm.
right? So how do you think like our resume should be? And as suppose, right from a fresher is applying for the medical affairs roles, like right from MSL or medical advisor or anything like that. So if what they have to include in their resume, how to make a profile very strong to get a short list, and also what are some few tips that you wanted to give to students, like how they can build some expertise or some experience, not like do you also think about certifications, right? Many people
Mhm.
they post
Yeah.
certificates and all. So, and what are the knowledge they need during this time?
Yeah. So this is the most commonly asked question I believe, which any family student asks me. They will just share their resume to me, and they will try. They will ask me to review and ask for the feedback. So let me disappoint you first that when I was a fresher, my CV was not at all impressive. Not the kind what you see on LinkedIn with like 10 certifications or 5 publications or top 1% achiever badge. So my resume was almost simple. It was almost underwhelming. Uh, it just had my PharmD degree, internship experience, few case discussions, and basic clinical exposure thing. That's it. It did not have like, that wow factor or which is telling that, oh, this guy is extraordinary. My CV was not like that. And I remember when I looking at the job description, thinking like they are asking for 2 to 3 years of experience, and that time I didn't have any, 1 to 2 stories to tell also, right? So it feels really scary, but here is what no one will actually tell you: company won't hire CVs. They won't. They won't hire your CV. They hire you. They will hire your clarity. What I believe. So when I sat for my first medical affairs interview, they didn't ask me. They didn't ask me that how many publications do you have or how decorated your CV is. Right? They were actually trying to figure out if this guy can think, if this guy can explain a science in simple way, and can he handle uncertainty without freezing. So these were the three skills which they were, testing for me, and most of the students actually they go wrong when they try to inflate their CV, or they instead of deepening their understanding. So my CV did not stand out on paper, but I made sure that okay, I should stand out in the interview. I made sure that anything which was written on my CV, I could speak for 10 minutes confidently. It should not be memorized, but it should be understood. So it was not impressive, it was honest, it was clear, and it was fully worthwhile. And I think that's what matters for a CV. You should be very honest. Whenever you are putting anything there on your CV, think about it. Because the person who is sitting in front of you, he is having like 10 plus years of experience, and he can easily catch you if you are bluffing there or something. He won't actually expect 10 publications or this much certifications. They will hire a person based on the right skill set. So you should have. So your CV should be good. You should have several, key things should be pointed out there if you want to enter into medical affairs professional. That you have good communication skills, you have good scientific writing skills, you have medical writing skills, right? You can translate complex data into simpler science. Most importantly, if the resume should carry a link, the link should direct that person, that interviewer, to your portfolio. I always ask everyone who reach out to me, I always ask them to build their portfolio. Now, portfolio means, uh, you know, you can build something, some case studies when you are into 6 year of your study. You can build case studies. You can build some presentations over there. You can have presentation built on a clinical trial, right? You could have a presentation which is built on a molecular mechanism of any drug, right? You could have presentation built on a patient profile, right? So this is how you can build your portfolio. By then, they will get to know that okay, he has this particular skill set. So I think I think this worked for many of the family students who have reached out to me. They built their portfolio, and they just pasted the link of that portfolio on their CV. Interviewer went that by link. He saw the portfolio. He got the understanding that okay, he knows exactly what exactly the skill set which are required for medical affairs, and he will be shortlisted for the interview. That's what my understanding is. Yes, many of you can be, many of my seniors or many people will be disagree with that. That your CV will look impressive. I don't feel that. I think the CV should be very honest. It should be clear, and it should have something you already know, and you can speak confidently at least for 10 minutes if anything is mentioned over there or interviewer ask anything about your CV. So that's what my understanding is about the CV.
Yeah, yeah, that's really great perspective. I really like that perspective. Like whatever we are rating in a CV, it has to be reflect on ourselves as well, on our attitude as
Yeah,
well. So whatever
exactly.
and the second thing which I like the most about the answer is like building a portfolio. Now it is
Yeah,
very much important nowadays to build at least some portfolio for ourselves. Like if you have some work or assisted or anything like that, you we can
yeah,
just make some portfolio out of it. So
yeah.
and also like what do you think about the interview process? Like it is very much challenging to get into the industry CROs. Like there are
Mhm.
two to three interview process are there. So how to clear all the interview process? Like not every time the first in we can go and we are directly selected for the for the role. So
Mhm.
first, I think like there are some aptitude tests in the first round, and then
Yeah,
yeah, and then the second round it includes about the panel discussion, and the third one is the HR round, like negotiating
mhm.
about the salaries and all these things. So what do you think about?
Yeah. So I actually tell this to many people that luck actually really matters. You should be right person at right time to get selected. That's what I believe. But yes, nowadays what is happening that in most of the companies they are actually looking for the right skill set, right? They are not directly going for the interview, or in the interview, let's suppose if it's a interview for Indian pharma company, first Indian pharma company, topmost, how they will interview a person. So they will first shortlist the CV, right? You will get a call from HR. I will suggest everyone to build their Naukri profile so strong. Mention all your credentials and mention all your skill set there. Mention portfolio there, right? So that HR can also know that what exactly skill set you are carrying. Once you have the call with the HR, right? You should able to tell how your experience or how your academics, actually aligns with the job responsibilities which are mentioned in the job description. Once you are done with the HR call, right? They will direct you to the interviewer. Now, a manager, hiring manager will interview with you, will have interview. The interview won't be more deeply into science. They will, the interview, that interview is there only to know you, right? Who are you? From where you are coming from? What are the skill sets, right? What is your degree? They will ask you few basic questions and some technical questions. That's it. Post that, if the hiring manager finds you suitable candidate for that role, what he will do, he will actually uh, give you some assignments. So you should be able to complete those assignments. So assignment would be preparing a slide deck on any molecule, or preparing a manuscript, or preparing an abstract for something, preparing synopsis, right? These kind of things will be there, uh, uh, mostly into scientific writing or a presentation preparation. Here, mostly they will check your skill set. If you are able to give 100% there, I think it will be very easier to crack the further interviews, right? Once you are done with your assignments, most of the time you are taken up to the the leader of that medical affairs team. It will be like a assistant general manager or general manager of the company. He will take your interview, and that interview will be mostly practical based, right? It will be about objection handling, or what exactly they will give you some practical scenarios, and they will expect answer from your side that what you would have done in this particular situation. So that it will go like that, right? So that time you should be very confident, and you should be very thoughtful, and your decision making should be very fast in order to crack that interview. So this is how I have given my interview previously with the organization, and with MNCs also. The interview process was more or less same. There was no actually aptitude test for that. There was an small HR round. Then they sent me an assignment, and then a final interview call. That's it. That was the interview process for me at least. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that was really great answer. And like if suppose that you wanted to help intern, PharmD in their last year, and what are the things that you would suggest to prepare themselves before entering into the medical affairs or before applying to the medical affairs roles? So what do you think about that?
Yeah. So, if someone told me that I want to enter into medical affairs in 12 months, or I want to break the medical affairs job in 12 months, I will not give them motivational speech. I will rather give them a system, because this is not about doing more. It's about doing a few things right, but deeply. Right? So I think you should spend few months on getting brutally clear. So medical affairs is not just about presentation. It's not just about literature reading. Right? It is about scientific communication. It is about critical thinking, and it is about stakeholder handling. So what my practical solution for that guy will be, I will ask him to spend 2 to 3 weeks just observing. Whom to observe, right? He should observe medical representative or MSN. If he is there in Mumbai or Nagpur or any other big city, for example, he should connect with MSN, or he should talk to MRs at least, two
Yeah.
to three MRs, and do this for 2 to 3 weeks. Get to know what exactly they do inside the clinic. If you get uh, access, then watch how doctor conversation actually happens, right? Now, this is possible when you are into private family college, and you are getting exposure, internship exposure in a private clinic, or say private hospital, where MSLs or a medical representative will come inside the doctor's clinic. So you can watch that. You can actually observe that communication, and I will tell that person to read 1 to 2 real clinical paper, not to summarize, right? Don't start running before you know the direction, what I would say. Then I would say that build one drug expertise at least, only one drug, right? Pick any one therapy area, and pick one or two drug of those therapy area. Go deeper, understand the mechanism, and try to translate that mechanism into simple language. Try to read about the key trials. Try to learn that why this trial matters, and not the numbers only. That why this clinical trial was conducted. Try to know the competitors of that particular drug, where your drug actually wins, and where exactly that drug loses. Try to understand, try to get to know that for which patient types actually this drug works better, right? Now you will ask me why you are asking me to develop this knowledge just for one drug. Because by this process you will get to know what exactly MSL or medical affairs professional do. They will, whenever a drug is getting launched into the market, they will try to understand the mechanism first. Try to translate that mechanism into simple language so that a marketing team or the salespeople will know that the mechanism. They will try to understand the clinical trials, right? So as a person, if you are also doing that, a molecule which is already in the public, understand the clinical trial and know why exactly this clinical trial was done. What was the objective of the clinical trial? Understand the patient types, understand the positioning, what guidelines says about that drug, understand the competitors. Your 50% of your job role is already clear here when you do this thing because this is what the medical professional in the Indian pharma system do. So now explain everything, what exactly you have learned, uh, like you are talking to a doctor and not writing an exam, right? If you speak clearly on one drug, you are actually already ahead of 80% of the fresher. If you are doing this thing, then I will tell that person to build the communication muscle because that is very important if you are into medical affairs. You should be very good at communication, right? Shift from knowledge to expression. Explain the concept of the drug in 2 minutes via voice note or a video. Simplify any research paper into plain language or practice asking why questions, right? Example, what is the MOA? No, this should not be the question because this question doctor is not going to ask you. The question should be why should a doctor care about this MOA? Why doctor should care about this mechanism of action, right? Now there is the GLP-1 inhibitors, right? GLP-1
Yes.
agonists. The market is booming like anything. There is Monjaro, like tirzepatide. There is semaglutide in the market. There are
Semaglutide,
many more
yes.
to come, right? Now they do have sort of similar mechanism of action. But what is the differentiation? Why doctors should care about this mechanism of action of my drug over the my competitor molecule, right?
Okay.
That should a person should know, right? So start thinking of conversation and not just asking because medical affairs is totally about debate sometimes because doctor will debate with you. So once you build the communication muscle and you because you are an intern in a college, for example, in an hospital, you can do that because you have the scenario set up there. You are communicating with the doctor already. Try to communicate with the doctor, or like you try to communicate with 5 to 6 doctors. So once you build your communication muscles, I think it is very important to create groups. As I told you earlier, than that building a portfolio is very important when you want to, enter into medical affairs field. So uh, even if you don't have experience, it's fine, right? You try to make 2 to 3 sample slide decks like a medical representative or MR, write a short summaries of the clinical trial and try to do mock conversations, right? Even if you are alone at home, just try to do mock conversations, right? The step which I mostly recommend to anyone in the family is to enter into the ecosystem now. Once you develop your communication muscle and once you build your proof, enter into the ecosystem, right? This is the time when you should try to reach out to MSLs, medical advisors, just connect through LinkedIn's. Be keep it very simple and respectful messages, right? Even if you get 1% there, it will be
Yeah.
really helpful for you, right? Ask for 10 to 12, 15 minutes of conversation, not for jobs, right? Not for jobs, just communication. What exactly they do, how exactly it is going, etc.
Yeah.
Attend the CMEs, webinars, and conferences if it is possible for you, and then start applying, right? By in this process, at least you will get one mentor or one recommendation
Yeah.
because when you start observing someone, they will ask you, who are you? Why you are observing us? Oh, you are interested. So when even you reach out to medical representative of a MNC companies like for example Eli Lilly or Pfizer or AstraZeneca, if you try to go and talk to them, They will give you a lot of insight. You will learn most of the things from them. So when you observe the people, they will try to ask you. They will try to ask you that why you are observing. Are you interested into this? Okay, try to communicate with them in this same line. Right? Try to communicate with MSLs, understand what exactly they do, understand the like. They will give you a real feel. Once you have the real feel, then it's time for the job application. Build your LinkedIn profile, build your Naukri profile, and I think once you get the interview call, I think it won't be difficult for you because you already know the real scenario, right? So that's how it actually helps.
Wow, this is a great answer. Actually, I really like this answer.
Yeah,
And you know, like okay, so I would like to, ask all the viewers, all the PharmDs or any healthcare professional, they can also move into the medical affairs. So I just wanted to ask you, like, we are not having any audience right now. It's a pre-recorded video, so they can post their question in the comment of this video sections. We'll try to communicate with them and we'll try to answer them, right? And also, I'm also planning to conduct some more video sessions on medical affairs with Dr. Sujay Bobade. So this is going to be one of the best video series on medical affairs in future, and we'll make some more videos together, right? And
yeah,
also it was a really great time with you on this session. And like, is it so much, like we are following all the academic syllabus, right? And we think like academic excellence could be helpful to get it into the medical affairs, but it is, quite different from the reality. uh, yes, if you want, you can tell me.
yeah, sure. So, the real thing in India is different than what we actually study in academics. The real industry experience, the real, medical affairs is quite different. Believe me, US PharmD syllabus is very much different than the Indian PharmD syllabus. I went through the US PharmD syllabus. They do not have pharmacology. They have applied pharmacology, right?
Yeah.
So they have integrated ecosystem. So actually, they train PharmD to communicate the science, not they train the PharmDs to you know to apply the science. In India, unfortunately, what is happening that we are doing academically great, but uh, the syllabus is not upgraded, and that's why I think a student also lacks clarity in the future. That okay, this is what they have been taught, right? They have been taught about the mechanism of action of a particular drug, but they have not taught how to communicate this mechanism of action to someone who is a doctor or who is a specialist. They know the mechanism of action, but how he should be, he should go to the doctor and try to talk with the doctor. How exactly the mechanism of action of this drug is different from that. So these little things are different. Correct. So I think having impact, it's not always about academics, it's always about practical exposure. So I will suggest all the PharmD students who want to enter into a great domain of medical affairs, start taking practical exposure, start observing the things before entering into medical affairs, and start communicating about it. That's what my answer would be.
That's great. Yeah. It's really amazing. So thank you so much for your time and sharing your knowledge. Follow all the steps which has been given by Dr. Sujay Bobade, and you can also connect with him on LinkedIn as well. And he's definitely going to answer all the questions of yours. And you can also comment your questions in the comment section of this video. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Anand. It was
Yeah.
a great time with you.
Thank you.